So I'm Danny,
And I'm Gino.
and we wanted to have a conversation because we started to have convos about the things that we go through, and we came to the conclusion that the number one thing that we always think about is our 3 kids.
3 kids. Responsibility, money, time. It's a lot of investment. And it's all about sharing. So might as well take all these combos, throw them at you guys, and let's see if you can. Let's get ready. Let's do this. Bang!
So, how you doing, Gino?
Tired. but see, I'm smiling.
Yeah.
So it's a good tired.
Good tired.
It's a motivated tired. It's a momentum tired. It's we doing work. We're grinding, and I'm happy about it. So tired, but it's for a good reason, good cause. So.
Yeah, there's some times where you're tired because you ain't doing nothing.
Nothing.
And there's some times where you're tired because
Some
stuff is popping and things are happening for you. That's good, man.
You know, it's a funny thing. Just because we're saying that.
Yeah.
I've said this, and I just think it's hilarious. I talk with women in general.
Okay.
And we get into the conversation of what we do.
Yeah.
You know, how we occupy our time.
Of course.
And I'm not doing this to brag. I'm not doing this because I don't think it's something to brag about. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm active. I do this, that, and the third. And it's really interesting, and I do this. And only when they ask me questions do I talk about it. And sometimes they'd be like, oh, but can I see you this time, and this time? And I'd be like, I really can't.
I'm busy.
My schedule's full. I'm a busy dude.
Yeah.
And then I would see girls be more interested, and I'd be like, yo, I'm actually serious. It's become a pickup line. At this point, it's a pickup line. It's funny. I laugh every time. I say it now, and I can actually go like, because I'm a busy dude.
With the lip
with the lip smack, the LL Cool J lip smack, and just that little wink, like, because I'm a busy dude. Right? I'm not saying all ladies are falling for this. That's not the point. The point is, it's really true. I am a busy dude. I have stuff to do, and these are my priorities.
Yeah.
Which brings us back to kids.
Of course.
You know, that's a huge part of my time. And you know what? If it's watching a movie and seeing you watching a movie with my kids trumps you. Yeah. So that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So busy, but it's a good busy. Happy about it.
Yeah.
So that's where we at.
So I just, I was changing Ishan's diaper before I left to come here. Ishan is my 4-month-old, and he has gained maturity, and now he smiles whenever I enter the room. And I will tell you, if you asked me would I want to hang out and change Ishan's diaper, leaky poop, whatever, I don't care. I would pick that over spending time with somebody that's like I don't, like you said, man, it's like you become picky. Yeah. And when you choose to spend time with friends, when you choose to spend time with people now, it's like, you really worth it. Because I could be doing something much better.
Seriously.
Right now.
And that's why, you know what? Sometimes people would say, oh, you're a boring person, or, you're so like, you're that exactly like what we think of geeks. You're always in front of a computer. You're always doing this, that, and third. You're never outside. And I'm like, you know what? So what? Look, you want to go out and spend thousands and in a bar, you can and enjoy it. Hey, if you can like afford it, and that's something you enjoy, go at it. But me, I have like a couple of friends that we meet on at least a monthly basis. All the same interests. We're all a bunch of geeks. If it's to talk about technology, we will. If it's to talk about animation and cartoons, we will. Yeah. And it's fun. Mm-hmm. And if you think I'm boring,
I'm boring.
Go for you.
I'm boring. I think we're boring. Yeah. So be it. So what are we talking about today?
Well, let's talk about black men always being thought of as deadbeat dads.
So the first reaction that I get when I hear this, I've heard this a lot from the news media. A lot of people saying, the problem with the black community is the destruction of the nucleus family and blah 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 blah. And first, I can't speak from like census data or whatever. Like I don't have any stats behind it. Yeah. What I can say is this: I don't know any. I do not know of any guy, and most of my friends happen to be black. I don't know any guy that's not present in his children's life. Like, I don't know of any. In fact, most of the guys I know are struggling to figure out a way to spend more time with their children. Yeah. All the guys I know are like, yo, I need to figure out a way to like change jobs or like move closer or make more money so that I can spend more time with my kids. Yeah. That's what I hear. Like the biggest struggle I hear from my brothers, from my friends, from some coworkers is usually like, yo, how do I figure out a way to spend more time with my kids? So the first reaction when I hear this is, who the F are you talking about? Maybe it's insulary, but I do not know of any deadbeat dads. I just don't know of any. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I know there's some deadbeats out there. I know that there's some bad people out there. Just no experience. So I can't really speak. I can't speak from first person experience. What I can say, however, is I do know of an actual study that was done in the 40s in the United States. And most of the time, when you hear people talking about statistics of the black family nucleus being broken, it's from that one study. It's from that one study from the 40s. And if you ask them for updated data, and if you scratch a little bit beneath the surface, most people go, well, that's what they say. Who the F is they?
Who? Yeah. If you can't tell me who is they, then don't speak about them.
Yes.
All right? You actually, for me, you look actually less crazy.
Yeah.
If you tell me it's the mighty Green Man from Mars.
Yeah.
Because at least you have somebody. You have a name.
You can point it to something. But when you say they, there's
tell me the man in black. Tell me something. But when you say they, I'm like, no. Because that would be, let me recall the other episodes.
Yeah.
It would be like me saying something like, hitting my foot and be like, oh, Ninja Gaiden Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And somebody would say, who says that? And be like, they.
They say that.
Everybody says that.
They say
Nobody says that. I'm the only one who says that.
Yeah.
My children say that because of me. I know the origin. I know the source.
Yeah, because it's you.
Please, exactly.
You're the origin.
Please just tell me who's giving you the information. That's like a bit like the no snitching. Maybe that's something else we should talk about at some point.
Oh, geez.
The no snitching. That's kind of like
snitches get stitches.
Yeah. That's maybe we'll add that later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're telling me all of this comes from that one study.
That is the only source, because you know me, I'm fairly thorough when I do research.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a geek like that. I'm pretty much an intense geek.
Much it's not no secret.
But I looked up the data and I have not found a source. And when I say a source, I'm not talking about somebody writing an article, right? I'm talking about the source of the article. I'm talking about the actual hard data that supports this theory. Because everybody says, when you hear the news media, again, a bunch of people will say, well, the black family is
anecdotal.
It's anecdotal. Because you've seen a black family, but the reality is I don't know of any. So, tough. Like, I'm sorry if some people have this. Okay, I don't know if you've ever watched Freakonomics or if you've read the book. There's actually, they also have a show, a podcast on NPR, Freakonomics.
Oh, yeah, on NPR. I probably I've seen it.
And I absolutely love to listen to the economists because they don't look at opinions. They simply look at numbers. Right? Numbers, facts. No opinions, just facts. And, when they talk about the downgrade of violence that happened in New York in the 1990s, mid-90s, and early 80s. They say there was a big down of violence. And a lot of people say, it's Giuliani. Giuliani was a great mayor. And the truth is the Freakonomics guy, they actually break it down and they say, no, it has more to do with birth control, right? People were having children and not having the systems and the ways to care for them. There were too many unattended youths, and the school system was overrun. When this downflux of violence,
really deep,
when the downflux of births came at the same time as the birth control was more prevalent because of the scare of AIDS, and a lot of people started.
Okay. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, there's a down. Sorry, not boom. 16 years later, after the big HIV scare, a lot of people dying and so on. Then 16 years later, there's a big downgrade of violence. Why? Because there's less children per household, and as a result, and there's less teenage births and all this
So
other attached
the
things.
delinquency went down.
Exactly.
The violence went down with it.
Yeah. And so, Giuliani, no, it's not Giuliani. It has absolutely nothing to do with him. Maybe he did some good things.
Yeah, we're not even going to really talk about politics and be like,
No.
hey, like the reason, a bit like when, again, I just said I don't want to speak about politics, but the principle is the same.
Yeah.
When Trump comes and says, yeah, so the black unemployment has gone down. Record breaking down.
Yeah.
Don't tell me the minute you came into office,
Yeah.
like you've never spoke about doing anything for it. It's really like it's a symptom of something else. Like this happens for a reason. You're not the source.
Like everybody has a good understanding that cause and effect are not things that are
Causality. Yeah.
Cause and effect takes time. Like just because you put a policy into office, like the day you came into office, your presence instantly increased job. Like that's not how that works. That's not how that works. That's just not how that works.
Yes. My atmosphere, my aura.
Yeah.
It's my aura.
Oh my God, have I ever used and abused that back in the days? And
Yeah, of course.
it too. Somebody has a computer problem and you're the tech on site. You show up and then the problem goes away. You go, well, it's my aura.
Yeah.
Obviously,
it's
I make
aura.
the technician's aura.
I mean, I'm still using it to this day.
Yeah.
Somebody will call and they'll just call. Listen, I have this. Oh, it's working.
Yeah.
And I say, you're welcome. Of course, I'm gonna take the props.
Yeah,
Bro.
you take
of
the
course.
credit.
It's for the same reason I stopped really early telling my kids anything about Christmas and Santa.
Yeah.
I don't care. These gifts I bought.
Yeah.
I am giving the props to any white bearded man. I did everything.
Yeah.
I paid for it.
Yeah.
So I'm not giving the props. So I come in, I'm like, hey, that's mine. You're welcome. You called me and my aura.
And the thing is it's not necessarily that I mind, because by the way, I'm also not into the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus, or I'm not into those things. Like I let the kids have their fun at school. I let them have their fun with friends and whatever. But the truth is I'm not going to be the one saying, hey, Santa Claus is coming. And then some white guy's going to come into my house and be like, hey, I'm saving the holiday for like.
You're going to bring it into my house? My house?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And wait, you're telling me that Elijah's gonna leave cookies and you're gonna eat them? Nice try, my man. Nice try.
I'm eating the cookies. I'm eating the cookies.
Clearly.
I mean,
forget it.
Yeah.
But so back to the whole black men being deadbeats.
Yeah.
Stereotype, bad stereotype. I have to say, unfortunately, I do know some deadbeat dads.
Do you?
I know some. Not personally, like, yeah, they're my friends.
You know of them.
I know of them.
Yeah.
I hear of them.
Yeah.
Because of the work I have to do with youth.
Oh, that's true.
And other, or friends of my kids that are in really bad situations. So I don't have the deadbeat dad that, like, never shows up, never does anything, doesn't care, doesn't talk, or disappears for years. I don't have that, right? So in that situation, and those I'm talking about that I know of are not all black.
Yeah.
They're not all black. Actually, let me just run down real quick. Okay, no, I can still find a couple of black ones. But I mean, in the pool of people, they're not all black. So every time I hear it, I get annoyed. And here's the problem. Hearing of the opposite, not the opposite, but okay. When somebody tries to give you a compliment, but it still becomes a slap in the face, right?
Yeah.
Because when you come and see me...
It's more like a neg than anything else?
Yeah. Because if you come to me and you say that I'm a great dad, that's a compliment.
Yeah.
And I'll take it. And I'm happy that you're saying this. My problem is, what do you know of me to be able to say that, right? So I'm telling you, for those watching who's seen me on either Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube, or whatever, whatnot, I do a lot of videos where I have fun with my kids. We do skits, sketches, comedy. They do music. They dance. Like, we have fun, and we film it and we share it pretty much the same way we're doing right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. A lot of people will come and say you're a great dad, and I'll say, and I'll take it if you know me, and if you've seen other things on me. If you're basing that only on these videos, then you're dead wrong.
Yeah, you're missing.
That means your judgment is screwed.
Yeah.
Because now there's a lot of people that will be doing the same thing or have done the same thing as me and are horrible dads. And I even tell people, listen, I'm cool, collected. I'm having fun with the kids. You don't know what happens when the camera's off.
Yeah.
I don't mind. See, I don't mind snitching on myself. I'll tell you. There's some videos where we're doing sketches where let me put it this way instead. You have not seen all the skits.
Yeah.
And you have not seen all the jokes.
Yeah.
Because some videos were either just deleted or never completed because it didn't turn out right. Okay? Once in a while, I'll show you some bloopers.
Yeah.
But you don't know of situations where we decide, okay, we're going to do something. We want to script it. Okay, we're going to do this and the third. And then one kid doesn't listen.
Yeah.
And then annoys his brother. And then there's a fight. And then I said, screw it.
We're not doing this.
Because I'm not doing this. This is not work. I'm not getting paid for this. We're doing it for fun. The minute it's no longer fun,
we're done.
I'm cutting it out.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
Basically, these sketches are uno. All right? If I'm bringing the pick 4, the whole video shut down. Okay? It's over. Okay? So you don't see these things. You don't see where I lose patience. You don't see when I am screaming at kids. You don't see when I am ashamed of myself of how I've acted with the kids. So I'm not telling you, no, I'm not a good dad. I'm happy if you recognize it. I'm happy of being told it's good motivation. I strive even more, not only to be a good dad, but also to show other ones that need to
encouragement.
Exactly, encouragement.
Yeah.
So I want to do more. But please, guys, there's a bigger picture. There's a bigger picture, and you can't just base yourself on that little snippet of my life.
Yeah, just
come and see me. Come to my house. Come and see when the whole house is messed up.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't feel like doing any dishes. Like presently, I don't want to. Okay, and that's real life. Then we can start talking. So deadbeat dads, or those that you think are really good dads, simply on how you've seen it.
Yeah, because you've seen them do an Instagram video. Like, it's not.
No.
You know, it's interesting because, like I told you before, I don't know any deadbeat dads. Black, white, orange, yellow. Purple, I don't know any. However, I do know of deadbeat moms because I know a couple of single dads where the moms literally decided to parachute themselves out of the situation or got parachuted out, whichever way. But again, this is anecdotal. It's not to say that women are deadbeats, and it's not. That's not the point. And I wouldn't infer anything of such based on the fact that I've met or that I've known of or that I've seen the effects of. Right. Absolutely not. I don't know any deadbeat dads. I only know of deadbeat moms. But again, I hate if there's one thing that I hate is people that make generalizations based based entirely on, I don't want to say speculative. I'm gonna say anecdotal information, right? You've seen one of, and therefore that's what it is. On the other hand, I don't have your experience, right? I don't actually spend a whole lot of time with other families. I don't spend the only people that are around me are people that are close friends or family. I don't know of a ton of, like, my sample group is fairly small.
Yeah.
And so the people that I'm around is sort of an echo chamber of my value system. So my wife always corrects me and brings that back to me, and she says, "You don't know because you don't know any better. You don't know because you don't know enough people to be able to make that kind of that kind of." So I hate the idea of making assumptions based on samples. So I have to apply that to myself. I don't know because I don't know. I don't have enough experience to speak to it.
Exactly.
So I'll leave that at that, unless you wanted to add something to it.
No. I'm done with this.
Yeah, done.
I'm done with this. But hey, be warned. If you are a deadbeat dad,
yeah,
we shall find you.
Yeah.
I should kill you. No. Or am I?
Kids are too precious, man. Like, seriously, you know what? Like, kids are way too precious to be taken for granted. Like, when you look at the odds statistically of being able to father a child, one,
Yeah.
then you think about the statistical odd that he's healthy. You know, the biggest lesson in life I got, and I will remember this for the rest of my life. I'm at the children's hospital with my newborn child. My wife is asleep in the room. He is a few hours old, and I'm walking him, and I'm assuming like an aura, like I must have been beaming. I was so happy. Teeth smile up to here, all the way up to my ears. I am super crazy happy, and I'm walking around with this brand new baby, and he is happy and he is healthy, and he's just looking at everything, and he's just trying to take it all in, but then there's too much light, and he's adorable. And then as I turn the corner and I see a crib, but it's the size of a single bed, and it's made of metal, stainless steel metal. This is obviously for not a baby, but rather a grown child that is incapacitated or a danger to himself. And in order to keep him safe, they have to put him effectively in a cage. And then, because that wasn't enough in the hallway, look further down, and I actually see one of those cages with a kid inside, and he's got a diaper on, and he's curled up in a fetal position. He must have been maybe 9 or 10. Like, to see it, like, that broke my heart to no end. And then I'm looking at my child, and I go, what did I do? What did I do to deserve this gift? Like, I don't deserve this. I'm not special. I'm not better than his parents. His parents are probably good people as well, and they haven't done anything bad. But yeah, that's the hand they were dealt, and that's the hand I was dealt. And so at that moment, I'm like, thank you, universe, God, Jesus, whatever. I'm just blessed with this healthy life in my hands, and I didn't ask or deserved it. And then I didn't have one, I didn't have two, I got three. That's like, yo, like, thank you. Thank you. Knock on wood, nothing changes. But yo, like, I cannot understand anybody that wouldn't want to spend every waking moment of their life just being in awe of this miracle that is your child. Like, so I don't understand. Every time I hear somebody doing harm to children, it freaks me out every time. So yeah, deadbeat dads, it's just, we can't compute, cannot understand it, cannot relate to it, don't know any, and it's probably not a mistake. It's probably cause and effect. You know, you
there's something,
you work with troubled youths, which is the reason why you know them. But I think it's fair to assume that you wouldn't know of them otherwise. Am I right?
No, because the people I keep around me, they just don't roll like that.
Yeah.
Okay. There's just a natural separation. Okay. The same way they say guilty by association. Yeah. It's pretty much the same thing positively.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're about positivity, you'll keep people that are positive around you in a circle. And usually when things go sour, it's because you had somebody who just didn't fit in that group.
Yeah.
Right?
And you don't have to push them out. They will push themselves out.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know what? You have people...
Damn.
You have people...
You don't have to push them out.
No.
They will push themselves out.
You know?
That's messed up.
Sometimes you're the one of the group they push out.
Yeah.
You know, you can have a group of thugs, gangsters, thieves, whatever they're doing, anything they're doing something illegal, whatever. Okay, hustlers, no matter what name you want to give. Okay, you might have one that's really soft spoken or soft hearted. He's you look at him and you know, like,
he doesn't fit in.
What are you doing here, right? But he was just brought into the group. But these are the people that they end up leaving.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes they don't leave in the best of ways.
Yeah.
Sometimes they die. Or they get kicked out, they beat up, stuff like that. Because it was not you. Let me, use that expression. They weren't about that life.
Yeah, literally.
It was not about. It was not the kind of life you were made for, right? So it's not your place. So sometimes you need to kick people out. Sometimes you need to get kicked out.
I honestly believe, especially since the children came into my life, I think there was a natural separation of who was friends and who was not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some people that just stuck around, and they were loving and happy with the children and loved being around the children, and other people that you were like, yo, you still got the kids, like, yo, like, let's do this and that and whatever, and you're like, it's okay, I'll pass this one time, I'll pass this second time. It's interesting because now when I plan a party, when I plan some kind of a gathering, I'm always like, well, of course children are included, of course children are welcome, of course children are supposed to be around with us, because I wouldn't feel complete. I wouldn't want to have to choose whether or not the children are going to be around.
Yeah.
Right? And then it adds complication to people that have to find a sitter and whatever. So I'm like, yo, I have children. You have children. Bring the children along. We'll figure it out.
We'll chill together.
Yeah, well, the kids will chill together. They'll have a better time because they're playing with other kids. I'm happy because if I think that if I think you're good people, if I enjoy having a good time with you, then obviously I would assume that our children should get along, or at least we hope that they do, and usually they do. Yeah. So yeah.
But it's a question of status, and every time I mention status, people think, oh, you're better than me. No, I've experienced it, and I was talking with a colleague about that. He's 32. Has a girlfriend. They've been together 4 years. They don't have any kids. He's not expecting to have any soon. He's not expecting popping the question soon. He's cool in his situation. And he was talking about like how much pressure his other friends that are married are telling him, hey, when you gonna have kids, when you have this and that and the third. And I was explaining to him, of all my friends, you've witnessed it. I was the first one to have a kid.
Well, yeah.
So I was 22.
By a long shot.
Or was it, yeah, exactly.
By a long shot.
Was that 22 or I got married at 22? I think I was 20. Yeah, I was 20.
Yeah.
When I got Rebecca. So I get Rebecca. No, I was 22. I don't know how to count no more. So I get Rebecca. Things change because now there's a baby involved.
Yep.
So people are like, yo, we're going to go to a party. And no, I'm staying with the kids, And, okay, cool. And then they start thinking you're boring. And sometimes they'll pass by and you try to do something, but then, the baby interrupts. And it wasn't that bad like Rebecca, because Rebecca was a super easy baby.
Yep.
Like I've said it before.
Yep.
The only reason I have 3 is because of Rebecca. She tricked me into thinking babies were easy.
Yeah.
So I got Rebecca, and
Amazing
then I had
job.
Elijah, and I went, whoa. I said, okay, well, one kid is like that. Doesn't mean, and the third one was like, whoa. I said, okay. Got screwed, right?
Yeah.
So at the other babies, and like, no, I can't go to the restaurant with you, because then I have to find a restaurant where they have something that makes sense for the kids to eat, and that they're gonna be able to sit through. And do they have chairs for babies?
Yeah.
Right? Boosters. It's a whole bunch of questions that they don't have, and you feel bad because you're like, I'm involving you in this, but you don't really, so they don't fit. And then if you get married, then it's also another status. It's a status in life. And then people are playing catch up because you want to hang out with your friends, but because they're not the same status, it just doesn't mesh. And hopefully at some point you meet halfway where everybody has kids, maybe not the same age and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But me, I'll never fit because I was the first one to have kids, and I'm also happy now because I'm done. I'm done. I'm freedom. My kids are grown enough that they can deal with themselves. They're fun now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it sucked before, but I can have fun now. I have conversations with them that are more than just teaching them. I can actually have fun.
Yeah.
And that aspect, if you see it in the videos, and that's the reason why you're saying I'm a good dad, then awesome. If you're able to catch that essence or that glimpse,
wow.
It's not because I went out in the snow with the kids that I'm a good dad. It's the fact that I'm able to joke with my daughter, and she has better jokes than me. And she makes me laugh. Then I feel awesome, right?
That's awesome.
So that's the status. And you know what? I felt super rejected the same way I was at the beginning when I split and all of my friends, because all my circle was married.
Yeah.
All my circle has kids, but everybody's together. Then you're back to being the third wheel.
Yeah.
It's a different status.
Yeah.
So some people, it's not because they bad. It's just, you know what? Our status makes it so that we can't hang out right now.
You know what? I don't know if you've ever had that. Back in the days, Dom would go out with us, and she was like, "Are the girls coming out? Because if the girls aren't coming out, I don't want to hang out with you guys. You guys are like, ugh."
Yeah, no, exactly. Of course. If you're not into this or the stuff we do, you're like, Yeah, you guys go.
You guys go
Have fun. And which was cool is the fact that we wouldn't get the fights of, oh, what are you doing? Maybe you're with other girls. Like, we all be together and we're all being faithful and we're all like, no, if we're going out, we're really going out because we want to hang out and do something cool.
Yeah.
And then if there's chicks around, there's a good chance they'll leave because they're like,
they'll be very quickly bored. You know what? What's going to be very interesting, and I can't wait to see. I'm looking for stats because I'd be very interested to see how many women are interested in listening to these conversations versus how many men. That's going to be a very interesting stat because I'm curious. Mostly, most of the conversations that I usually have with men. Not that I don't like to have conversation with women. I love women, obviously, but I usually. It doesn't last very long. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. Yeah. They usually get like, ugh, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Because we sound. That's part of being geeks. Slash nerds slash whatever. But we do find conversation that.
So he's like a nerd, but I'm like a nerd with a cape. Super nerd. Because I'm a comic book nerd. I'm an anime nerd. Yep. I'm also a car nerd. Yep. Right? I'm a phone nerd. You know what I mean? Like I'm an AV nerd as well. Like that's right. Yeah.
That's exactly. You'd be surprised at my job, man.
Yeah.
I've always been Gino. He's a geek. He's really a geek. He's a technical. Understand? I came to this job and I was like, you guys are nerds, man. Like, yo, they eat technology. Yeah. They're the type of guys. That's when you get with experts, right? Mm-hmm. They're the types of guys that are masters and experts on technology that's coming out in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's not in yet, but they already know of it and they already know everything and they're experts on it. These are the types of guys that are really into it, right? Yeah. I'm a geek like that in other spheres, but technologically, that's different, right?
You know, the guys that download the SDKs and the guys that download the developer versions because they want to see what it looks like.
APKs and that's this guy. I'm not gonna do this. I read through the notes diagonally. I just go like, where's the download button? I'm gonna find a use that's super like unreal. I'll use it in a way nobody thought of, but I really don't want to get to the details.
Yeah.
All that to say, so we're talking about each other. We're both blacks. Mm. Obviously, we're not deadbeat dads. Mm. So, is it fair to have that stats?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think we could actually, with the comments and what comes out, we could totally do a part 2 and really get deeper into that.
Yeah, I'd love to do a part 2.
In fact, that's when we're going to go deeper into that. Right now, we're doing just surface work.
In fact, please write a comment and say, I would like to do this live. I would like to have a live conversation and go back and forth with you guys and see what you have to say on the subject. So please, if this is something that's of interest to you, because I think I don't have much input because of lack of experience, but I would love to get you guys' input and have a live conversation if that's something that you want to do. So yeah, if you want to do that, just comment and tell us like you want to live. And we're gonna try very hard to respond to absolutely every comment. We will absolutely read everything. Positive or not, we will read everything. And if you have negative comments, please also give negative comments. Because maybe you don't like my glasses. I don't know. So I don't know if you've noticed, you guys, but I've been switching glasses on every video. And so I don't know. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the white frames?
You're putting eye candy in places.
Yeah. Do you prefer the
properly?
The wooden frames? Do you prefer the plastic frames? I don't know. Maybe you want to comment on that. Maybe you don't like my haircut. Maybe you think the line is too much. Right? Maybe that's old school.
Which is a new haircut. You didn't have it last episode. See? Yeah. Huh? Eye candy. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You love all of this. And if you're listening to the podcast, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can't see our mannerism.
Yeah, we're also on YouTube, by the way, so check it out. So what's the next thing you wanted to talk about?
Bullying then and now?
Yeah.
Bullying then and now.
So I find that super interesting because...
By the way, I'm all for bullies. Let's go bully.
Okay.
No, go.
So I find that super interesting, right? Because... this term called bullying is fairly new, right? They call it bullying now. They just called it, they just called them school. Big kids before, or just school. And, growing up around a bunch of ethnically different children. And when I say different, I mean different than me, right? Because I'm going to keep it politically correct.
Yes.
I was part of none of the other clans. And on top of being, like, even in the clan which I was being associated with, which is the black kids, right? The black kids would not associate themselves with me because they're like, well, he's a nerd, right? He's a nerd. He's the teacher's pet. He's the one that always wants to sit in the front of the class. He raises his hand and asks a million questions. He's always reading books during recess, right? He's a weird kid. So
I've been a weird kid.
Yeah, but and I embraced it. My wife says, Dom says that I have the strong personality because I come from a family of 4 brothers, right? I have 4 other kids with me, which all had similar interests, not exactly the same, but similar interests. So I was reinforced. I had the reinforcement at home to make me feel like whatever I did was normal and the other kids were weird, right? So I looked at them as weird, and every so often when somebody would say, you want to get into a fight? I'm like, I don't care. Listen, I have a brother 9 years older than me. What the hell do you think you're going to do that he hasn't already done to me? I ain't scared.
That's it.
You can't beat me worse than he has.
Yeah.
Like, you literally can't. Plus, if you do, he will come and get you. So go ahead. Do your worst. Do your worst today. He will get you tomorrow.
Yes. Oh, so, that's a good point.
I think bullying kind of forced me and shaped me into the person that I am today. If I have a laissez-faire type of attitude, if I have I don't care about anybody else what they think, it has a lot to do with the fact that a lot of kids wanted to beat me up. I'll always remember this experience. I'm in Sec 1. I get into a new school. It's a private school. I get on the bus, and it was a fairly empty bus because the school was very far from the house and not a lot of kids. Right? Yeah, Saint Paul de Varennes. Saint Paul, and I'll always remember this experience. A bunch of kids, like they said, you're gonna have an initiation, which is us just. It wasn't, it was a beating. They wanted to give me a beating. Okay, no belts were involved, but they were talking about they were talking about using wooden sticks. Anyways, they wanted to beat me up, and I'm like, I am not about to let myself be done anything to. If you want to take me, come and get me. I'm gonna take one of you and beat him to the ground. You're gonna give me a whoop ass. One of you's going down. I don't know who. One of you's going down. So you know what I mean? Like, but that kind of attitude does not come from being covered by the teachers, the principals, or the bus driver. It comes from the fact that you've taken licks, and I have taken licks, right? I've taken many, many licks to the head, to the face, to the chest. I bled, I won, and I lost. And that's what I think made me who I am today. When I hear today of people going like, oh, well, it's unfair and whatever. Personally, I look at this and I go like, why? Why? What's the worst that's going to happen? Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? They're gonna have a couple of scrapes. They're gonna have a little bit of blood, and then they're gonna have respect because you mouthed off at the wrong person. Because you think that you're invincible. Because you think you're bulletproof. You think that you have the shield that is called the principal or the school's authority, and none of the things that you say or do have any consequences. No, that's not real life. Real life is you mess with people, they mess with you right back.
Straight.
So what I think about bullying is I think it was fine before, and now all of a sudden everybody's a snowflake. Excuse me for using that, but everybody's a snowflake. Oh, he said a bad word. Yeah. Oh no, he pushed a kid. Like, listen, it's always happened. It will always happen.
Me on my side, like everything, it's always complex. I think there is a difference. And the way bullying affects us. Yeah. Because our ways of communicating have changed. And no, I don't just mean, we had bullying, now we have cyberbullying. For me, the whole cyberbullying thing is laughable. And I'm not trying to laugh at people that have lived through it or have serious consequences that came out. Some people, kill themselves. What's going on. But it's not the cyberbullying. That's the source. Okay. That's my problem, right? Okay. So listen to this. I could be if you have mental issues. Yeah. Okay. It won't matter if somebody said something bad in your face. Yeah. On the net. Yeah. Heck, somebody on TV might be saying something general and you might be hurt. Some people are weak against these things for like I said, like for mental reasons, like
specific
weakness. You might have a disease, something that makes it so that hey, you crack. That's already one thing.
Yeah.
Right. But we have to say, when I hear certain things on the internet, or I see certain things on the internet, when a child, let's say, there's an Amber Alert, and the child is missing, and then people starts to laugh about it because of the color of that person, the ethnicity of that person, the sex of that person. If you want to call that cyberbullying, okay, but I don't think it's cyberbullying. At this point, it's harassment. And that's that line, which is difficult now to decide.
Yeah.
If you're at school and you got pushed around, people hurt you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's fun. But because we decided to use the word bullying, we started to belittle it. I'm saying promise. If you were, I'm pretty sure right now, if you're in school, and a few people start pushing you, and you call things by their name, and not say harassed. If a girl starts to get pushed, and she say, I was harassed today. Best believe any teacher hearing that will be like, oh. That's a trigger word. Bullying, cyberbullying. Because the cyberbullying I'm hearing about is, I was on the internet and then people saying things mean to me. And when they say something mean, I feel scared. Dude, you can shut down the internet. You can get out of Facebook. You could go elsewhere. You can leave. Promise you, I can go on the street now. I often have situations where I'm going down the street and I know I'm being looked at. Either because of my color, either because of what I look, just because of my beard is enough for people to go like, what wheezy. So if I start calling out people because they look at me, be like, oh no, I don't like when people look at me, and then I have to go on the media to talk about it, there's a problem. If I put my face, like right now, we're talking to the camera. I am well aware that you might not be happy with what I say. Hey, you might not be happy of how I look. All the things you could say to me in person, you could say right now hidden behind a keyboard. Okay? Is that cyberbullying? I put my face here. I can decide to put the video, and if people don't like it, I can delete it, disappear, never come back on the internet.
But when somebody comes at your door, when somebody comes at your class, when somebody comes at you at the yard, then it's a different situation.
It's a different situation.
But the thing is and this is kind of my point, right? If I'm comparing then and now, right? The only real serious difference is now we've labeled it bullying when kids are basically not being nice to each other. That's basically what we've done. We're saying kids not being nice, we call it bullying. And we've created this wide spectrum of things, whether it's saying bad words or pushing or downright beating him up.
Exactly.
It's all called bullying, right? And I think that where I take issue, and I suppose I probably need to add that nuance. Where I take issue is the reality of, so long as it's a physical interaction between children, it's real life. You have to learn to negotiate, to navigate that world. You have to learn to navigate that world, because these children will become adults and their viewpoints will remain with them, right? They will keep being if you remember the conversation that we had about the police, the police interaction that you had, this guy that you saw that was at his house without a shirt on at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, right? That guy, he was a bully when he was a kid. I promise you this guy was a bully when he was a kid. And I have no idea what the interaction between his daughter and your son was, but I promise you that it stems from her dad, the 2 o'clock at home shirtless guy, right?
Exactly.
It's his behavior passed down to his child. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you want to call that interaction bullying, then you have to get an understanding that people have certain behaviors. You're going to have to deal with them your entire life. And if you start going, oh my God, I don't want to deal with it, it's not fair. Like, if that's your attitude towards it, then you're going to have problems. In the same sense, right? The fact of being able to identify people that are touching you in ways that are inappropriate, right? When I say touching, boy or girl, whether it's unwanted touch, period, is wrong. It doesn't matter whether it's a boy to a boy, whether it's a boy to a girl, whether it's a girl to a girl.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Your body is your temple. If somebody enters your temple without your permission, that's wrong. It doesn't matter how old you are, whether you're 1 day old or you're 100 years old. And so, like, I hate this idea of putting this umbrella, this BS umbrella, and calling things, oh, well, you know, they're children, someone's just bullying, cyber or real, right? There are certain things that you're not allowed to say. There are certain ways you're not allowed to touch. Without permission is wrong. Without respect is wrong. Period. Doesn't matter age, doesn't matter color.
And it's important to understand that with free speech comes the right of getting smacked. By the way, because what you say has repercussions.
Yeah.
So don't think that now we're dealing with cyberbullying or bullying. Then now you can just talk. First of all, because a lot of people talk and they're bullies in what they say.
Yeah, of course.
You know, if I'm constantly talking to you and saying things to you that are wrong, then you have the right to think that this is bullying. That's why I find this nuance. It's too much. There's too much darkness and shadows on this. But if it's discrimination, if it's racism, if it's that's what it is. That's what it is.
So check this out. Right? Freedom of speech does not mean that it absolves you from the consequences of your statements. Right? There are certain things that you are not allowed to say, and it has nothing to do with freedom of speech. You're allowed to say it. You can also have a fine, because I don't know if you knew this, but by law, this is not Danny's opinion. Please look this up if you don't believe me. The Court of Human Rights, if you if you make racist statements, you are liable. I can take you to court and you will pay a fine. And if again, don't believe me, look it up. Human rights, right? It's a human right violation. You will have a fine to pay, or if not, jail time.
Yes.
And I don't care if you're a cop, if you're a policeman, you're the mayor, you're the president, it doesn't matter, you're not allowed. And that does not absolve. So freedom of speech does not mean you're free to say whatever you want. It just means you're allowed to say it. You're entitled to say it on a platform, you're entitled to say it on the street. But you have to understand that everything that you say, everything that you do has consequences. And
be ready for those consequences.
Be ready for the consequences. That's right.
Right. So some people, again, get into situations. Don't blame it on the bullying. No. Why were you there to begin with? Don't be there. Don't say these things.
Yeah.
Be careful with how you use your mouth.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. There's things you're not supposed to say to certain people.
There's things you're not supposed to say. Period.
So just don't. If you say it, then you're liable to getting smacked, beat up. Sometimes, and so let's get back to the whole side of bullying for a second, okay? And because we did say it's like bullying then and now, okay? I was talking about how the bullying or the interactions have changed and the way we communicate has changed. Here's a little thing that I find is an advantage. When people do things to you online, there's a record.
Yeah.
So I welcome the quote-unquote shit talking.
Yeah.
I welcome you. Come, say these things. Say whatever. But they're written here. I'm going to stand behind what I say. If I say something right now, hey, you know what? I might just listen. I might just re-listen to that video and be like, no, I didn't make any sense. I didn't make any sense. That's not what I meant. Let's do a part 2 and I'll recap and I'll work on my ideas. And then I can fess up. It's right there, right?
Yeah.
Back in the days, you'd say something, it's in the wind, nobody was there, nobody recorded it. Mm-hmm. That's the same reason why people say, kids nowadays are more violent. The things they do now, it's way worse than,
No, it's not.
No, we're filming it. Oh yeah, the whole thing with, police is so bad right now.
No. It's just caught on tape.
Yeah, we're just catching it now.
It's always been there. It's always been the same. I think none of these interactions are any different than they've ever been. The only difference now is we have records. Those records happen to be permanent. And oh, by the way, personal opinion, I don't think anything's changing. I don't think anything's changed. No. The only difference is now it's recorded and it's shared with people and there's likes and now Facebook's created more emotions that you can have. You can put a thumb, you can put a frowny face. I love this idea of people going like, oh, well, we're going to do something and doing something means a tweet or a post on Instagram or a post on YouTube or any other social media. It's like you posted about it, right? The point of what we're doing here, us, is just we want to start the conversation. We want to hopefully steer up some ideas, but I'm not under the illusion that this video is going to change your lives and for the better or for the worse. No, this is entertainment. You know what I mean? Like this is purely. I'm hoping there's some educational stuff in there. And again, I please do not trust anything that I say. Do your own research. Check, fact check, back check.
I look forward to people sending in information and be like, oh yeah, this, that. Maybe you'll search and you'll be like, you know what, Danny, you were actually wrong.
Yeah.
This study in the 40s, yes, but
there's a new one.
Exactly. There was a revision of this and this place and this, that, and the third. Awesome.
Look forward
Give it to me. I'll take that. And then I'm free to make my own choices through that and say, you know what, I need to upgrade also my own mind, like a computer.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, there's a new version. Let me put it in. I accept it. This is how things are right now.
Yes.
And then we can move on.
Yeah.
And all this is an example that I give to my kids. So I just want to, bring that back. When I'm talking about bullying and stuff, my kids have gone through it.
Yeah, of course.
First of all of them have lived through racism. To begin with.
Hold on. You're telling me that your black Arab children have lived through racism and bullying?
And it was a surprise to me. I was like, well, how can this be? They're so endearing.
Yeah.
And plus I was like, and they're light skinned.
Oh my God.
They're light skinned.
Oh my God.
Everybody knows light skinned don't go through ordeals or trials and tribulations.
Of course they don't. Only us dark skinned.
Exactly. Us mofos.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
We feel it. Exactly. It's understand that the mix scientifically they say stronger genes,
of course,
combine and they get
stronger,
but they also become a bigger target.
Yeah, because they have two reasons for people
exactly
to hate on them.
And that's two minimum. Because then you have there's shades, right?
Oh, God.
So those who don't like black people won't like them. Those that don't like Arab people won't like them. Yeah. Understand, those that don't like Mexicans won't like them either.
Because they think they're Mexican.
They could be Greek.
Are you serious?
They could be anything.
Are you
anything?
Serious?
Hey, listen. If I'm taken for Arab or Muslim everywhere I go, just because of my beard, and it's a lot shorter than usual, then they can be taken for anything. Mm-hmm. And because they are citizens of this multicultural world, it's not as if my kids, like my daughter is learning Spanish right now.
Why not?
To add a fifth language, to her inventory, right? Yeah. To her knowledge. So, and she speaks fluently memes, because that's by the way, memes is a language, and in the 2018 and up, you need to speak memes. You need to speak memes. That's just a PSA for you guys. Teach your kids how to speak meme. Learn meme. Enjoy meme. Memes is everything. This and chicken. So they speak these languages. You might catch my daughter saying a couple of things in Spanish, and then you're like, oh, of course she's a Latina. Yeah. No, she's not. So now like I said, it's a bigger target, whether for people that like him or hate them, and they get treated differently. There's issues, and I've had to work with them to build that endurance, thick-skinned. My son, who is young, who's sensitive, but has the heart of a warrior, he will go in a fight with anyone that disrespects other kids that are close to him. And it doesn't matter if, I'm a target, you don't like me because I'm Arab. Little side note, he's in class, and then there's a kid who he was friends with, and while Jamal was not there, he started treating another Arab kid bad, talking about he's a terrorist, and he's saying all these things. They're laughing. The Arab kid in the corner, he feels bad. And then Jamal comes in, and he's like, "Yo, what's going on? No, Mathieu was making fun of Isham because of he's Arab, blah blah blah." And Jamal really he listens, like, okay, cool. He's like, okay, so you thought Heshme was what? What did you think that name was? Right? Dude, I'm half Lebanese, man. So you think I'm gonna let you disrespect him? If he looks like shit, if he's a terrorist, who you think I am?
Oof.
Yeah, right?
Oof.
And other people heard about this.
Yeah.
And then, I'm sorry, this kid is now being ostracized because of what he said. And then, don't forget, he's the same school as his big brother. So Elijah hears about this.
Yeah.
So Elijah, who's used to playing with this kid soccer in the backyard, well, I'm playing with you.
Wow.
Huh? If he's a terrorist, and that's my brother. What am I?
Wow.
I don't want to play with you. Right?
Wow.
There's ways to go about it, right? Wow. And you have to be careful what you say. You don't know who's who, what's what anymore. Be careful. Now, I know how it's going to play out.
Yeah.
Now that this little kid, nobody's talking to him, are they going to turn around and say that my son is bullying him? Ironic. See, that's that line. That's why people can't just use words in the wind and be like, yeah, well, you know, the bullying and now it's so bad. And I don't want a bunch of entitled kids.
Mm-hmm.
You said it. They have to know how to navigate.
Yeah.
Not everybody is going to be a yes man. Not everybody's going to have your side, your back. Yeah. You need that confrontation, that awkwardness. And when you're used to dealing with it, we can turn around and make something positive out of it. So I'm not here for people to just like me. If you like me, awesome. You're going to have a great time. Awesome. If you don't, then, you know, anyways, I was not going to hang out with you. Yeah. I was going to stay home, watch animes, play with some computers, have a little drink, relax. And we were never going to meet anyways. So, hey, go.
I'm hoping to meet like-minded people, but I do realize that by having an opinion, any opinion, it's bound to ruffle some feathers, and some people are going to disagree with what we have to say. So I'm very open and happy to take on those conversations. If there's a conversation to be had, of course there has to be a conversation to be had. I argue for a living. Like I enjoy it to no end. Sometimes a little bit too much, according to my wife, but I enjoy it. But I do enjoy having vivid and
banter
conversation. But it's so the idea is that I think that in a marketplace of ideas, the better idea will win. Yeah. Right. So I'm absolutely open to having an exchange of ideas, but it has to be an exchange of ideas respectfully. And I encourage my children to have conversations with me that way, right? I oftentimes put my foot down and go, I'm your dad, and so my word is law. It does not mean that you're not allowed to have an opinion. It does not mean that you're not allowed to speak your word. But at the end, just please be reminded that I'm dad, and dad will have the final word. I don't really care if you're happy about it or not. You don't have to be happy. Happiness is a bonus. It's not a requirement. Hey, I'm sure that's been and I'm very happy to have conversations with absolutely everyone and anyone, hoping that we can both grow out of it, because I don't have the authority on the truth. I just have my opinion. And like I said to in your class yesterday, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
Everybody.
So that's just mine. Guys, if you're still listening, thank you very much. I really appreciate the time that you've given us. I know time is the most precious currency everybody has or doesn't have. If you like this video, please share, subscribe, comment. Tell us what you think about it. Tell us what you'd like for us to speak about next. Tell us if you like the wooden glasses or not. Like, these are pretty new. So I'd like to have your opinion. Right? I'm crowdsourcing this.
I think they're dope. That's really nice, actually. It's a nice look.
Thank you. Yeah, if you like the haircut, let me know too.
And that sucks, though.
It's too hip.
It's too hip. We're old now. We're fathers of three. We should know better.
So let me know, man. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe. Again, as I said before, this episode was sponsored entirely and wholly by...
Go check me out. There's some music there. www.discipledeca.com. You can find me on all social network at DiscipleDeca. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Vero. Nobody's using Vero yet. But I'm there too.
Vero?
Yeah.
Why not?
Maybe we'll have a talk about that one too
All right.
later. And yeah, just check it out. I do music. I give classes, and anything. Just come by, look out, and see if there's something that interests you. Je suis là. All right.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and have a blessed week. Peace.
Peace out.